Hello, everyone. This is Chad Biggers. We are on to our next week. I forget what number we're on of the Ohio City TV live stream. It is just me today as the host. Whitney took a very much needed has taken a much needed vacation, and so you just get to listen to me and our wonderful guests. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our guests. I think today's a really important conversation that we're having. For those of you who aren't aware, there's this project that is happening through RTA that really is going to affect our neighborhood. It is the 25Connects project. So we have a couple of people from that project team that are going to talk to us today. We have Amy Snell, who is the planning team leader and on the project and works with Greater Cleveland RTA. And then we also have Craig, last name I'm going to just skip because I'm not going to get that correct, so we'll have him say it when it's his turn, who is part of the planning team as well. So, here we are. How are the two of you doing today? Wonderful. Absolutely. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. I am going to throw out a couple of things real fast. We do have your email address, the hello at 25connects.com. On the bottom, scrolling across the screen, as well as two different web pages that visitors can go to see and learn more about the project. One of them is in English, one of them is in Spanish. So whatever language it is you're trying to use, there's a website that you can check out. And so those are scrolling across the bottom. Now, why don't we go ahead and have the two of you talk about the project and what's going on. Wonderful. Wonderful. So where are we at? I know for those who are super excited to watch the countdown, we had some slides running through, and one of those slides is kind of a timeline of what this process is like. So where are we at in the process? What's been done, and what's happening next? One moment, one moment, Craig. Actually, I am just getting word from David, who is on the YouTube, that the audio is not going through. Like I said, it's been one of those days. So in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put those slides back up just like I had earlier, and I'm going to try to figure out this audio situation real fast. All right, I think we are back. Everything seems to be reading well now. So I apologize to our viewers. I apologize to the guests. This is a very different experience with just one host. Um, so thank you, David, for letting us know that the audio wasn't coming through. Um, let's see if this works. Amy, can you? Yeah, let's just start from the top. I apologize.
No,
Good
it was a
news
good
is
practice
now you've got practice.
this round. Awesome. Okay, I'm Amy Snell. I'm a planner with RTA, and I'm on the project team for 25Connects, which is a corridor study that we presented and received funds from the Federal Transportation Administration to look at a BRT streamlined bus service from West 25th Street at Detroit all the way down to Cleveland Metro Park Zoo. If you've been an engaged resident in the Ohio City neighborhood for some time, you'll know that the West 25th Street corridor is a very auto-heavy corridor with a lot of bus service, and there has been a lot of frequent studies in the past couple of years trying to bridge the gaps and create more of a sense of a community in place. We hope that this study really makes transit a priority in this corridor. So to do that, we partnered with Stantec. Our project manager, Craig, is here, and he's going to let everyone know where we are now, where we're going, and what we hope to get out of this project.
Great, thank you. My name is Craig Sklenar. I'm a TOD specialist based out of our Montreal office in Canada, but I do have expertise here across North America over the last 15 years, helping communities deliver walkable, transit-focused community development in various sectors. We're really excited to be a part of this project on the west side of Cleveland. We know a lot of work has been done, and now's the time to pull it all together, as Amy was saying. And what we're looking to do is two things. One is envision what the future bus rapid transit would look like along West 25th. And that would be a little bit different than what you see at Euclid Avenue. It's going to be more of a premium bus sort of design, running alongside the corridor, or alongside the curve of the corridor, and having additional station amenities and premium branded service along that corridor. You know, the West 25th, the Metro Health line is one of the heaviest used bus systems or bus lines in Cleveland, if not North America. And we're really excited to add additional service to that. The second part of our work program is transit-oriented development focus. It's looking at our communities along this corridor and understanding the opportunities and challenges and risks if new development happens to ensure two things. One is how do we invite and bring new people into the communities, and how do we ensure that existing members that live in that community can still live and work in that corridor should new development start to occur.
Wonderful. And so I did ask a question. Thank you guys for repeating that, and thank you for being patient. I did ask a question before we noticed the audio thing, so I'm going to ask that same question. Can you go ahead and give us kind of a snapshot of the timeline of where we're at, what's been done, and what the next steps are going to be?
Yeah, of course. We actually are right at our kickoff with the public engagement. We spent the last couple of months doing some data analysis and report review. As Amy had mentioned, there's been a lot of work that's been happening along the corridor over the last number of years. We wanted to bring all that into one sort of singular document, and what does it mean for this particular project. Wednesday this week, we had our first public engagement session on Zoom, and you're going to start to see our team out on the street more through a variety of COVID safety-related events, small 10-person or less events through mobile walking tours. We have an online survey right now that people can take to start to look at preferences and their opportunities along the corridor and risks. And then there's going to be a couple more engagement sessions as we start to drive down into design options and understanding of the opportunity along the corridor. All of this will be managed through our uniquely branded website, 25connects.com. We encourage people right now to sign up on our newsletter so that we can, so that they're always up to date on the opportunities that are happening through the community. You know, I think one of the unique opportunities we have here is along West 25th, we have over 20% of the population speak Spanish at home. And so we've committed to a bilingual process throughout this so that everybody, regardless of their language, has an opportunity to engage and provide their own insights and opinions to really make this a rich and engaging planning process.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That is something that I noticed right away. And it wasn't just you have one website and then it gets translated in Spanish. You have two separate websites. And I thought that was amazing, and I thought that was really great. And I noticed on the slides that you shared and that we were sharing with everyone that every slide is bilingual, and I thought that was really important, really awesome as well. So that's really great and wonderful. And I think that timing is always so interesting and challenging. And I think that so far from what you've been saying, that there's been some good adaptation to the COVID-19 pandemic that is kind of changing absolutely everything. You mentioned the newsletter, and I don't know if you mentioned it because I was trying to double check the audio settings because single person. Did you mention where people can sign up for the newsletter?
Yeah, simply 25connects.com or 25connecta.com as well. Both have a landing page right on the front for that, as well as right now you can start to take our preference survey. We have it posted on our website. This week's presentation will have a link to the meeting itself, a video of the meeting itself, and we want the residents to be able to take their time, review the material. They were a little bit more wordy presentations than normal. That's by design, because we want people to be able to, at any time, access that information and to have that story being told without us presenting.
Wonderful. I'm sorry. I'm just really flustered today. Is there anything that you haven't been able to share that you want to share? Things that you're really looking forward to hear? A lot of people may look at this and not necessarily want to participate. And when that happens, what would you say to make sure people are participating, and that this isn't just a thing that's being done, but it's really important and it impacts them?
So I can speak.
Well, I think what's interesting. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I can speak on this really briefly, is RTA really needs this to be a successful study. This is really the first step into securing more funds to actually construct a better streetscape and a better transit system down West 25th Street. So I think this study will hopefully take this project to the next level for the next step, whatever that might be, a design engineering type of project. So I would really encourage residents, especially, to get involved, because this is their main street, this is their hub. If they don't currently ride transit, let us know why. What would make you get on the bus? What can we do differently on this line that we don't do on other lines that you really wish we could? So those are some things that come to my mind. I don't know, Craig, if you had anything more to add.
No, you're hitting all the talking points I was looking at. I mean, what I was going to say is, in our initial demographic research, we noticed that the city of Cleveland ridership is about 10% of people taking some form of transit to work, but in our corridor, it's only about 7 or 8%. So we want to bump that up even higher than 10%, and we want to know, like Amy said, what would make people switch from driving to work to taking transit, and what are those amenities? Is it frequency? Is it reliability? Is it the stations themselves and the designs? And then also, because we do call this 25Connects, these are very diverse neighborhoods along this corridor. We want to understand what are the common themes, but we also want to make sure that community members say stylistically or culturally, what are the elements that may be very different that create those unique opportunities along our urban spaces.
Wonderful. And I do have the corridor that you're talking about up on the screen right now. I think it is important to let you know that, so you know what people are looking at. I am, just from personal experience, I am an avid, well, up until a global pandemic, I was an avid transit rider. I am not a Cleveland native, but from the moment, I think 2 months after I moved to Cleveland, I realized I hadn't driven my car since I moved to Cleveland, and I sold it, and I have not owned a car since, and so it's been 5 years. And I think this is really important, and I've lived over on Shaker Square on the east side. I've lived in Old Brooklyn, and now I'm down in Tremont, and I've worked across the city, and so I've taken hour-long transit rides with multiple transfers trying to get to the far east side from Old Brooklyn. And now I have a one bus ride to work when I decide to take public transportation. And I have to I'm saying all of this so that I can say I think that you're absolutely right. It is so incredibly important that people give their feedback and participate. And I hear all the time about not wanting to take public transit, and I hear it from people who have never taken public transportation. Mm-hmm. So with that in mind, and encouraging people to take public transportation, Amy, could you maybe talk a little bit about what is happening, what RTA is doing with COVID happening, and how, what kind of safety precautions are being taken with the buses and the rapid lines to maybe encourage people to take public transit even in the midst of a global pandemic?
Yes, yeah. So earlier, a couple months ago during the shutdown, we obviously did not encourage transit ridership, only for essential trips such as doctors, work, grocery stores, especially if you're reliant on transit. Now that things are beginning to open up, we're starting to implement some more service. So we did do a little bit of a service cut during the pandemic, and we're starting to put service back on the line. In fact, in about a week, all of our park and rides and our B-line trolley service downtown, with a little modification, will be back up and running, which is great to hear. We have different types of mask events going on. So if you need a mask, check out our website and also our Facebook page. They'll be posting when volunteers will be passing out little mask kits that includes a little white mask and a CDC guidelines. Our buses are cleaned daily. We have this interesting, it's not an X-ray, but it's a light beam that is supposed to be state of clean a bus, especially if we get work on the bus. But it's a very unique time, and I think we're trying to really work through it, and I think we're doing it pretty successfully. So we are requiring our passengers to wear masks as mandated by the state of Ohio, and we really encourage everyone to continue riding safely and at a distance.
Wonderful. Are you limiting personal curiosity at this point? Is there limited capacity on the buses at any point, or no?
At this point, no.
Okay.
Not that I know of. I do know as service increases, we'll get more frequency, so there will be more spread out. I know that was one of the complaints we received as people were going back to work. They need the buses back because they were getting a little crowded. So as we're adding more service in the next coming weeks, there should be more room to spread out.
Wonderful. Go ahead, Craig.
I do also know we have also I believe on certain buses, well, on all buses and trains, certain chairs have been marked to not sit there to encourage some social distancing.
Okay. Wonderful. Were you going to say
I
something?
I want to note too on our, at Stantec Urban Places, we continue to believe that the trend is going to be urban. And even in these uncertain times, now is the time to actually plan for that urban future. As we continue to rebuild, et cetera. All neighborhoods like the communities along West 25th Street are going to be continually important over the next 20 years. And so we want to be able to spend this time to think about what does the future really look like. While it is great premium bus service with great placemaking along that street, the buildings and the new development that are going to come with that are going to be an ever important component in ensuring that it's equitable, walkable, and providing additional opportunities for that corridor. So while we're here talking to Ohio City today, there are multiple communities that we want to make sure that we're touching throughout this process, and we hope people that are watching this connect with those other communities along West 25th Street.
Wonderful. I cannot think of any more questions myself, and I think we're getting close to our time limit anyways. Is there any last comments that either of you two would like to make?
No, we just want to remind everybody to go to 25connects.com or 25connecta.com in Espanol and sign up or take a look at everything. If you have any questions, send an email out to us and we'd be happy to answer it. We're looking forward to connecting with everybody over the next few months and sharing their ideas and our ideas together to create a unique community plan along West 25th.
Yeah. And tell your friends, and especially people that live in nearby neighborhoods. I mean, even Detroit Shoreway, Tremont. I mean, just because you don't hit West 25th Street itself, it's definitely an important connection. So share it.
Wonderful. I've got nothing left. I'm going to go ahead and I have a couple of updates that I'm actually just going to do while the two of you are on the screen, if that is all right.
No worries.
So one of the things that I know Whitney wants me to say, so if you're watching Whitney, I'm saying it for you. Ohio City Inc. does have a text message update system going on right now. If you want to be a part of that, to make sure you can get updates even if you're not connected to Facebook, YouTube, the internet, which I know you're watching this right now on YouTube. So if you know people who aren't connected, make sure that they get this number. The phone number is 216-250-1919. Just text subscribe to that number. Or you can make sure that you get on that and when message updates go out, you will get them. That number is also in the description for this video, so if you didn't hear that or didn't get it written down, you can catch it there. If you have any questions or ideas about Ohio City TV, make sure you send an email. You can send an email to me. Just reach out to cbiggers, BIGGERS, at ohiocity.org, and we'll try to make sure we incorporate as much of that as possible. And those are the big updates that I got to make sure I say. I also want to throw this out there. There is an election coming up in November. We want to make sure we get as many people to vote as possible. As is regularly mentioned in every meeting all the time right now, there's a global pandemic going on, which means it is so important to make sure you get your your ballot requests in, so that way you can vote by mail. You can head on over to the Board of Elections website and get print off and fill out and send in a ballot request from the Board of Elections website. Or in Ohio City, there are a couple of locations. I know of one off the top of my head. It is by the Little Free Library in Fairview Park over by Kentucky Gardens. There is a kiosk that actually has ballot request forms in there with envelopes. So all you got to do is grab it. Don't have to print it out, fill it out, send it in, and you'll get your ballot. And you want to do this as soon as possible because you want to make sure you're getting your ballot in time to then fill out and send back. So please do that. I think that's so important, and I think we're planning on trying to have some people actually on in a future episode talking about the importance of voting and how you can make sure you're getting involved with that. So those are my updates. I don't have anything else. Thank you for bearing with us with all of the technical difficulties. YouTube is our new home for Ohio City TV. So check back here for the live streams. We'll be posting other videos up. I'm still working on getting the last of our past episodes up right now. So make sure you come here, check it out. There is a subscribe button that you can push for YouTube, which you didn't have for Facebook. And so you can make sure you get alerts whenever we post a new video or we go live. So I would go ahead and make sure I hit that subscribe button, please. So that way you can stay in the loop. That's all I have, and I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful weekend. We will see you again in a couple of weeks. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.